This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Hello and welcome to HealthLink, a program connecting home, community, and healthcare. My name is Carol Merton, and today I'm delighted to welcome two guests from YMCA, Owen Sound Grey Bruce, who are here to talk about the opening of services and some exciting things that are happening at the Y. So in no particular order, I have Scotia Hutton and Brandon Downing, who are here from the Y. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
My pleasure. Well, I know in the past I have talked to your executive director, Sarah, and Sarah Cowley has talked about, how things were doing through COVID and how the Y was pivoting and adapting. But we're moving through that now. So fill me in a little bit about how your programming is opening and what you'd like the public to know about. Any precautions they need to do, anything that you're concerned about, and how we can expand. We're moving forward through COVID. Who wants to go first?
I can jump in and chat about our health, fitness, and aquatics facility, which is where I'm the supervisor of our fitness and wellness program here. We're slowly trying to ramp things up, bringing more members back, ramping our programs back up closer to where we were pre-COVID. We've been able to take away our capacity limits. We were able to remove masking requirements as well as proof of vaccination. So we've seen an uptick in numbers with participants, with day pass users, and with our members returning as well.
That's really optimistic. Every now and again I drive by the Y and I'm seeing more and more vehicles parked outside, and it's like, good, the community is coming back for sure.
Yeah, it's nice to get some more energy back into the building for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it's just so good for the public to be able to get back to their routine. Certainly people I speak to are just so happy to be back and see people and just be there as they're working out or doing their routine. Scotia, from your perspective, anything you'd like to add? And if you could tell us a little bit about your role as well.
Yeah, so I am the new summer camp director at Camp Presqu'ile. So Andy Bernard, the old director, some of you might have been familiar with him. I know lots of folks in the area know about Camp Presqu'ile. So he's moved on and I have started in the role there. So I was a director at another YMCA camp in Muskoka for the last 5 years. And then I've decided to come back to a little bit of a smaller camp, which I'm really, really excited about. It's just such an awesome opportunity to really get to know the community. And we're really, really, really excited to have kids back on site this summer after being closed for 2 years. I think we have all seen the effects that COVID has had on ourselves. And then if we have children or grandchildren, I think we can really see the effect that it's been having on kids. So camp is just such a fabulous opportunity for kids to be with other kids. And it's not like being at school. They get to play and explore, build their confidence, learn new skills, make lifelong friends. So I'm really looking forward to having little happy voices everywhere, just hanging out and having a good time. So We're really looking forward to it.
So I will want to know more details about the camp for sure in this program, because as you say, Camp Presqu'ile has been known to our community for a while, but we're also getting new people moving into our community as well. So this might be a chance to profile the camp and encourage people to consider. Brandon, I appreciate you sending me the bullet notes about Rocksteady Boxing. So this is new to me, I have to be honest. And I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about that program and then the others that you want people to know about. But tell me about Rocksteady Boxing.
Yeah, so Rocksteady Boxing, it's a exercise program for folks with Parkinson's disease. And it started back in 2012. It was developed in Indianapolis, Indiana. and we became an official affiliate in 2018, which meant we're able to run the program here at the Y. So we had just kind of built into it, gotten into a bit of a routine, and then COVID hit. We went on hiatus for a couple years, and then a few weeks ago, we relaunched the program. So we've had a lot of returning participants as well as some new faces as well. So basically, the idea of the program is it does non-contact boxing, exercise, and other hand-eye coordination activities for folks with Parkinson's disease.
So it's limited to those with Parkinson's then?
That's right, yeah.
And what's really encouraging to hear is that it's a fitness program for a physical condition that impacts people's everyday life, so for people who have Parkinson's. So how would a person decide whether they really felt they could attend the class? How do you have viewing sessions they can join in on, or?
Yeah, that's a great question, because a lot of people, when they first hear it's a boxing class, they say, well, I've got Parkinson's, I can't box somebody. So what we do is we do encourage people to come in and observe a class, just watch the class happen. They're 90-minute classes, and they're spread out into boxing, where we do shadow boxing. We have our coaches actually hold pads so that they can hit the pads. We do strengthening, cardio exercise, and then they even learn how to fall properly is another thing that's really unique to the Rocksteady Boxing program. And then always finish off with a nice relaxing stretch as well. So usually when people come and watch the program happen live, they're like, oh yeah, I could do that. And then next thing you know, they're jumping in to join us.
And I noticed that you also do balance work, which is obviously related to falls, but so important with those individuals with Parkinson's as well. So how many in a class would there be?
So right now we average kind of between 12 and 15, depending on who all can make it. Pre-COVID, we were getting closer to 18 to 20. Okay. But we have two of our certified coaches there every week. So Krista Smith is one of our coaches, and she looks after the intake process. And then Trevor Clerks, who's a bit of a YMCA legend, he's our boxing guru. And so they co-facilitate the classes. Then we also have a volunteer named Pamela, who's been volunteering with Rocksteady, first in Kitchener, and then we're lucky enough to have her here. So between the three of them, and then any of my staff, if they have the option to go down and help out with the class, they'll jump, because it's just such a great opportunity to hang out with this group of people. So
certainly having someone observe the class, and then do they have to get a doctor's note to attend? Can they just, register like any other class? How does that work? Yeah,
so the way they go about it is by contacting Krista, and I think I sent her contact information along, so it can be posted. And then she is the one that sets up the intake for the participant, which is about a 60 to 90-minute appointment where she does different assessments of the person's fitness level, where their symptoms are at, because Parkinson's is so broad with where your symptoms can be and that kind of thing. And then, there is, you do get a release form as well. And then you start boxing, start hitting stuff.
It sounds like a great way to work out and get rid of stress at the same time.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, not only are what boxers training for, coordination, balance, the rhythm of their movements, those are all things that people with Parkinson's want to improve on. And then it's just fun. It's fun. It burns stress. Yeah, it's a great program.
I noticed that in the information you indicated that the exercises have different purposes, which you've described, but they share one common trait. They are rigorous and intended to extend the capabilities of the participant. So I know you're just starting it up again, but are people surprised by what they can do and how they can progress? Are you seeing that?
Yeah. People are amazed themselves where they can get to whenever they do this program. It's really encouraging to see the improvement from people. Some people, one guy after his first class that he took, his exact words were, for that 90 minutes, I forgot that I had Parkinson's. So to hear that kind of an impact it's pretty special.
Wow, that is special. So the classes are 90 minutes, and are there a certain number that a person could attend per week, or how is there a course of 10 to 12 classes? How do you schedule that?
Yeah, right now we're just doing them Wednesday afternoons from 1:15 to 2:45, or sorry, Monday afternoons from 1:15 to 2:45. And then as interest picks back up, as people get back into the routine, we are hoping to add a second class. So people can either get a Y membership and attend the classes as well as anything else that they want to at the Y, or some people do a day pass where they purchase a day pass for when they want to come to class.
And the caregivers of those with Parkinson's, are they able to attend as well, or are they, just sort of watching or going shopping in the meantime?
So in Parkinson's, or in Rocksteady Boxing, we call the support person the corner person, which is a term used from boxing where you have your corner man who's wiping your head after you get your lights punched out. So your corner person comes with you to help you in the class as well. And they are able to access the class for free. Their membership is included for the duration of the class.
Excellent. I'll be coming back to you to learn more about the programs that you offer as well. But awesome. I'm interested now about Camp Presqu'ile and wondering, Scotia, you have a community or a service club partner with Camp Presqu'ile. So maybe you can just talk a little bit about that, and then how do kids register and all those really important details.
Yeah, for sure. So Camp Presqu'ile is operated under a partnership between the Rotary Club of Owen Sound and the YMCA of Owen Sound Great Bruce. And they've been partnered, I believe, for the last 25 years. But camp has been running since 1926. So it's a really old camp in Ontario, which is really awesome. And it really is just this gem of a site. It's on Georgian Bay. The kids get to be in the bay and get to look out at it every day. They wake up and the lake or the bay is right there for them, which is just gorgeous. We're able to utilize it for our program space. So it's really, really nice that way. The camp has also maintained this really special small camp feel. I think that a lot of camps in Ontario have really just boomed, and it's kind of how many kids can we fit on site? And the thing that's really, really special about Presqu'ile is that it does have a small camper base and a small staff team. So everybody knows everyone's name, whether you're 6 years old or you're 15 years old and you're still a camper. Everyone knows each other and they get to kind of hang out and learn from each other. And I think that's what's really unique about camping, that in schools, the grade ones hang out with the grade ones and the grade eights hang out with the grade eights. But at camp, the focus really is on how can you be a good community member to everyone there. And that involves the 6-year-olds learning from the 15-year-olds and the 15-year-olds learning from the 16-year-olds. So it's a really, really special part about camp. And also the fact that we have a nice young staff team. So it's normally high school students, university students that are working at camp, and we're still hiring. So if anybody knows any university students or high school students that are looking for summer employment, we're still hiring for the summer. So that's an opportunity for them. But yeah, it's always really special to see the connection between youth and children. They are able to form a bond in a way that I think adults and children sometimes aren't able to, and they can be really silly and really creative with one another. And it's always really special when you see those connections blossoming and helping build skills in both sets of people. So I think this year especially, camp is really important. And if it's something that you can give to a child or a grandchild or a friend's kid, I think it would just be an exceptional sort of gift that you could give to them so that they can, feel a little bit normal again, I think is the biggest thing. And camp is a place where they can kind of find out who they are and what they like in a safe environment where they're free to explore and challenge themselves. So I've been a camper since I was 6. So I live and breathe camping. I fully understand what it's done for me as a person. So I encourage any of you to send a kid to camp if you can. And if you're looking to register, everything is done online. and you can find our registration page at YMCA owensound.on.ca. And then there's a camping drop-down menu. So you'll find Camp Presqu'ile and also the Y day camp programs, which is also really exciting. So if you're looking for summer camp options, that's the best place to look.
Yeah. So a few more details, which I mean, it is camping is a wonderful experience for the overall growth of youth, youth, all ages. Yeah. It's an overnight camp.
Yes.
Okay.
And I meant to specify that. I apologize. Silly me.
You know, I think it was implied, but it gives me some questions to ask, you see?
Yeah.
So it all works out. So it's an overnight camp, and registration, of course, online. Now, how long can a camper stay?
So we have sessions that range in length from 1 to 2 weeks for campers age 6 to 14. And then we have our leadership programs for 15 and 16-year-olds. So 15-year-olds, there's a 2-week program, and 16-year-old, there's a month-long program. And they're with us for a pretty good chunk of the summer, which is really awesome. And in the leadership program, we're really focused on helping them find their leadership style, learn more about problem solving, communication, teamwork. And there's a canoe trip that's involved in those programs as well. So they get to go on a nice canoe trip down the Saugeen River, which is really fabulous. So anywhere from 1 week to 4 weeks, kids can be with us, which is really nice.
So with the leadership camp as well, do you find, or is your hope that as you train leaders, they will continue to come back and then become camp counselors?
Yeah, certainly. We love it when our campers that started with us when they were like 6, now all of a sudden they're a counselor. That's always so fabulous. But ultimately what we're trying to do is build well-rounded young people. So we want them to be able to take the skills that they're getting at camp and apply them to their sports teams, in their church groups, at school, in an art class, in a gym class, like in band. So we want them to be able to build the confidence that they need in order to go out into the world and navigate it confidently and independently. And I think ultimately that's what camp gives kids. They give kids the confidence in who they are as people to do what they like to do and not do what they think they should be doing, but what they really, really enjoy. So I think that camp kids are always they're ready to lean into their interests that they really like and find out who they are and what they want to be doing with themselves. So I think that's a really great part of camp.
Because we're moving through COVID, and there's kids are back at school, but there was a long time that they were not. Are you expecting, from your experience, to see any differences, any changes as the kids come to camp?
Yeah, so some camps have been open through the pandemic, either running a day program, and last year we were able to run smaller overnight programs across Ontario. And there were definitely some kids who came that they were longtime campers sometimes, and they were a little bit more nervous than normal coming to camp. But ultimately, they knew that they wanted to be at camp, and they wanted to be able to feel confident again. So I think we are really seeing a lack of confidence away from the home with kids right now and away from the family unit. And camp has always given kids a chance to kind of explore that away from their parents. But now more than ever, I think it's important to be kind of pushing kids out to try and, manage conflict on their own, use their voice to advocate for what they need, and to make sure that, they're having the best time that they can. So I think that camp will be a really important part in that, and sort of their way that they can navigate the world. Again, that the skills they might not get fully at school because it's a little bit more strict. It's a little less, kids get to choose what they're doing in the day and really focus on that. So there's definitely a shift in campers and in their behaviors, but we make sure that our staff are trained in order to manage that. And we have supervisory staff in place to kind of support that. I'm also a child and youth worker, so I went to school to manage behavior. So there's lots of support for everyone when they're at camp, which is really nice.
my recollection, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you do have a staff nurse or medical professional. I'm not sure if it's a nurse at this point, available to the campers. That's part of what is there.
Yep.
Correct?
Yes.
Is that still?
Yeah, so that's still the case. There's a wellness center, and we have somebody that's focused on that, making sure that kids know if they have a cut or a scrape, or, you know, sometimes if their tummy hurts, maybe they're just a little homesick and need a hug. But yeah, there is somebody there to make sure that the overall health and well-being of camp is being looked after.
So in an earlier program, I was talking with a totally different organization about a service that's provided relating to community. And they have a program where it's called Pay It Forward, where people can contribute so that the person coming behind can have the benefit of the item or the. So you mentioned about supporting, whether it's parents or grandparents, and that came to my mind that anyone watching this program could donate to the Y for sending a youth or a child to camp, correct? In a kind of a pay it forward concept?
Absolutely. Yeah. So if people were like, oh, I'd really like to support this, but I don't really have a kid that I could send, you can donate to the Y. I believe, Brandon, you might have to correct me on this. I'm a little new to the Owen Sound YMCA, but I believe it's called Strong Kids still. Is that?
Yeah, the Strong Kids Foundation.
Yeah, so you can donate to the Strong Kids Foundation through the YMCA, or you can donate directly to the Rotary Club of Owen Sound, because they also have a campership program to support kids that go to Presqu'ile. So it really depends on where you'd like to donate your money, but both of those are options for you if you'd like to donate a little bit of money to Presqu'ile.
So this question is for both of you, relating to both of your programs and where your focus is. There's been no doubt that there's been an economic challenge for people as they've gone through COVID. What would you say to people who really want either a membership in the Y or want to be able to access the services but just don't have the dollars? What options or opportunities might they have, and how do they access those?
Yeah, so the great thing about the Y is that we are a charity. So we're here to help the community and build healthy communities. So here at the Health, Fitness, and Aquatics facility, we actually have subsidized memberships available. So we get those from people donating to the Y to be able to offer these. So it's based on your income for your household. And yeah, we can subsidize your memberships so that we want every family to be able to access our programs here at the Y.
And that's really good to know, because there are families, and we know that because we've heard the statistics around access to food banks and meal programs, that the need is there. So it's good to know that certainly the Y has options available. So Matt, the producer's screen is telling me 5 more minutes in our program. Brandon, what other programs would you like to mention to the public to encourage them to come to the Y now that your services are opening up again?
Yeah, so we've been able to continually build back up our drop-in group fitness classes. So every week we have cycle classes, we have aerobic step classes, aquafit in the pool, kickboxing classes. So those are all included with your membership, plus access to the fitness center and to the pools. Our cardiac rehab program is also still running. We were able to continue to run it out of the building even during the lockdowns.
Wow.
Because it's in association with GBHS. So we had people coming into the building while we were closed. And I just got a little check on the numbers this morning with our cardiac exercise specialist, and we currently have 34 people enrolled in a home program with cardiac rehab, where they have weekly phone calls with Michael, our exercise specialist. And we have 12 people in our facility program. So we've seen a bit of a shift. Those numbers are basically the exact opposite of what they were pre-COVID.
Yeah.
But people are still getting the same care, same guidance for learning how to exercise after a cardiac event.
Yeah. And as we were moving through COVID, and I had interviewed around the Y programs before, there was discussion about online programming and activities. And now we're moving through COVID. A lot of organizations are talking about a hybrid model where they it sounds like an electric vehicle, but I mean a programming. Is the Y going to be entertaining that kind of idea of continuing online as well as in person?
Yeah, so we actually have a program called Y at Home Plus, and it is through the YMCA of GTA, where if you have a membership with our Y, you can access live streaming fitness classes as well as a library of pre-recorded fitness classes. They also have nutrition information, mental health and well-being workshops, activities for the kids. Just a lot of resources online to be able to support that hybrid model.
Speaking of activities for kids, swimming lessons. Either swimming in the cold water or at camp or certainly in the Y. What will happen with swimming lessons this year? Registration, all of that sort of thing.
Yeah, so we've been offering swimming lessons. We just finished up our winter session, and registration is ongoing for our spring session, which starts next week. So we've had to limit our offerings just because of staff shortages, but we are able to offer swimming lessons for the kids in our nice 92-degree leisure pool.
I'm going to turn it over now to allow Camp Presqu'ile to have a response about the water.
Well, we have access to the bay, but we also do have a swimming pool at camp. So we make sure that it's nice and warm for the kids, especially those younger ones. You know, you see them go in for 5 minutes and they're like this already. So we want to make sure that there's a place for kids to cool down in the summer. So there is a pool at camp as well. And then we have lots of fun stuff in and around the water, but I think mostly they swim in the pool.
Yeah. Scotia, good response. We wouldn't we gotta be fair about the water.
Yeah. The bay is cold.
For sure. I want to thank both of you for being on the program and giving the update about where the Y is and the programs that are being offered, as well as the opportunity for the community to support the Y through donations. So certainly would encourage people to consider that as well. It's such an important community building organization as well as for our health and well-being. Thank you both for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you to our viewing audience for joining us as well. To learn more about programs, services, and resources available to you and to your family, take care, stay safe, be well. Thank you.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Hi, I'm Thomas Shade, a right wing with the Owens Attack. Go behind the scenes with your favorite team on Attack Rap every Tuesday on Rogers TV.
As the fighting continues in Ukraine, thousands of people are fleeing for their lives, forced to leave everything behind. You can help them. Your donation to the Humanitarian Coalition will provide